Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming another first impression video for you all, and today it is going to be on my new Anastasia cream contour kit. I have the one in the light version because I am pretty pale. Even when I tan I am still on the sort of paler side, and they do have sort of darkish shades that I could, you know, amp up my skin to make it match with my fake tan. But yeah, so today I'm just going to be doing a first impression on this kit. I'm super excited to be doing one. I've had it in I've been planning to do one for a really long time now. I was just waiting till I could get my hands on the kit. So now I've got my hands on the kit, obviously, and I'm just going to be doing a first impression. So all I've got on my face at the moment is a moisturiser, an eye cream and a lip balm. I've watched a couple of tutorials with people using them, and they normally apply it over their foundation. So as always, whenever I do a first impression, I apply primer to half of my skin. So what I'm going to do is first go in with a primer. I'm going in with my L'Oreal Skin Perfection primer, and I'm just going to be applying this on half my face. And I'm going to be doing this half of my face. So I've placed a primer over half of my face, so this half is the primer side. And then, like I said, a lot of the videos that I have seen actually go in with a foundation first and then they use the product. So they sort of apply foundation and concealer and then they apply the product. So I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Infallible. This is in the 10 Porcelain. It's a little bit light for all over, but I'm going to be warming up my skin anyway with the contour products. So I'm going to go in with this, move my mirror, and just applying it all over my face because I want it all over. I thought it'd be a better test if I did all of my face with foundation rather than just sticking it on half. So I'm just going to blend that out. So I've just done like a sort of even coverage all over my skin. I haven't gone too crazy because I want to see what the sort of coverage is with this product. I've blended that in. I'm now going to go in with my concealer, and today I'm going to be using my MAC Pro Longwear concealer. I need a new one. And I'm just going to be applying underneath my eyes because they do say that you should conceal your under eye areas before you highlight them. This concealer that I do actually use is normally a lot lighter than the foundation that I use, but seeing as this foundation is really light, it's kind of looking okay at the moment. And I'm just going to blend that in with my beauty blender. So I blended most of it in with the brush. I'm just going to continue and finish off with the blender. So there's one eye concealed, so I'm just going to go in and do the other eye. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this kit. Ooh. So I think I'm going to contour first, and basically there are 3 highlight shades, 3 sort of bronzing and contour shades. I have heard that the light kit isn't as cool toned as some people like, say for like their contour and stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna see how I get on. So I'm gonna use this pointed foundation brush from Real Techniques, and I'm going in with Cinnamon, which is this colour just here, the darkest one. I'm just gonna be getting that on my brush. I don't know how much of this you really need. I'm just going to be going from the top of my ear down, and I'm also going to curve it a little bit under my chin, just like so. I'm going to do the same the other side, so from the top of my ear down and round. And I'm not actually sure what the best way is to blend these out, but I'm looking for the brush that I want to use. So I'm going to blend this out with this brush. It does blend out nicely. So I just blended this side out with this duo fibered brush, and I could probably place more product on because that has gone quite pale, but I'm now just going to see if I can blend this side out with my beauty blender. It kind of loses its intensity when you use a beauty blender, so I'm just going to go in and apply a little bit more, mostly just on that bit. I'm not going to do any more around the cheek because I can end up looking a little bit too squirrel-like, chipmunk-like. So I've just intensified these areas, and again I'm just blending. So that's those little cheekbones. Now I'm just going to apply this product up around my forehead. Just like so. A little underneath my lip. And under my chin. Just like that. I don't know if you can see that. I just put a little bit sort of up the sides to actually create a chin at the moment, because I am a little bit heavier weight wise than I would like to be. My chin is pretty much always the first thing that sort of tends to disappear when I put on weight. So just blending this in, and it does have quite a nice colour to it. Like, it looks like a nice sort of bronzed glow to the skin, which is nice. I do like that. And I can always amp up my contour with like more contouring products, and these products do blend out really nicely, like these cream products. So I've just blended it onto my forehead. I'm not really too worried if I go a little bit too far in, because obviously I am going to go in with the highlight shades, and I am making sure I'm blending it back into my hairline so it nicely blends. So I'm just going to get underneath the lip and underneath the chin. And I do believe that the medium kit, as this one is the light one, I do believe that the medium kit has a cooler toned brown in it called, I believe it's chocolate. I'm just going to add a little bit more definition to my jawline, so I'm just going to blend that quickly. So you could sort of push in to blend the product, but I'm just using sort of like buffing motions at the moment. So I've created like a jawline. Just going to repeat that over here as well. So I'm going to go in with a smaller brush. Now this is the F.I.F concealer brush from Sigma. I'm going back in with that cinnamon shade. I'm now going to be contouring my nose. So I'm going to draw a straight line all the way down to the tip of my nose. And I'm also going to connect that in to my brow bone as well. So I'm just going to try and repeat on the other side. So I've just done that. I'm actually going to go in with a smaller brush. So this is the P84 brush from Sigma, and I'm just going to be ever so slightly blending this. So I'm going to blend it up into my brows, just using sort of striping motions. And I'm just going to go in my fingers, just make sure it is nicely blended. And then I'm also just going to apply a little bit of that round, like the tip of my nose. I'm just applying ever so slightly more, sorry, more in that contour area now that I sort of have got a bit more of a feel for the product. Yeah, so it blended out really nicely. I'm just sort of going round and blending it a little bit more in certain areas just to make it look a little bit more sort of natural. Obviously I am now going to be applying my highlight shades. So for my highlight, I think I'm going to go in with, oh it's raining again. I think I'm going to maybe mix these two shades, which is Cool Pink and Vanilla. I might think that that banana shade is a little bit too yellow. Okay, so I'm just going to be using the same brushes as I used for the contour, but obviously they are clean. So I'm just going to mix these two together. And this is the pointed foundation brush from Real Techniques that I believe I said earlier. I'm just applying this underneath my eye in that sort of triangular motion. I'm not applying it too far underneath my eye because we have concealed, we're just highlighting now. So my top lip, chin, on my other eye, and also on my forehead. So I'm just extending that over my brows a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with that smaller contour, smaller concealer brush even, and I'm just applying that Cool Pink shade just down the centre of my nose, just like so. Just blend it into that colour. And now we're just going to blend it out. So I'm just going to clean that duo fibre brush that we were using to blend out the contour bronze shade. Okay, and I'm just using sort of pressing motions, and I'm just pressing this highlighter into my skin. It actually looks really nice. Now that the highlight is on the skin, it looks really nice. Just cleans up any mistakes that you may have made, or even just, you know, just neatens everything up and brings the whole face together. And I really like it actually. Blends super quick. Use my finger actually. Use my finger, and they feel really like creamy and nice. I'm just going to go over it with my beauty blender just to make sure like everything is all blended together and it's all into the skin and everything. And yeah, I think that is it. I actually really like how it looks on my skin. It looks really natural. What you could even do is go a little bit further, and I'm just going to go in with that banana shade, and I'm just going to take it underneath my contour just to neaten that up even more. And it just helps neaten everything up, blend everything together, and just makes it look a lot more like your shadow, rather than making you look really muddy and dirty on the skin. But yeah, I do really like it. I use the yellow underneath because sometimes I find if I use a pink colour down there underneath my contour, it makes me look really pale and like I've got contour products on. Yes, that's why I use the yellow tone under there. But I really like how it is actually showing up on my skin. So how I'm going to set this is, because whenever you use sort of creamy liquid products, you need to set them. I'm actually going to set it with my Anastasia contour kit in the light shade. This is what it looks like after it has been set with the sort of corresponding powders. Bearing in mind, I didn't set the foundation or the concealer before I went in with this product, so this product and my face so far is only set with this kit, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, which I did do a whole powder, highlight and contour routine of how I used it. But yeah, so I am really happy with how it is looking at the moment. I'm just gonna finish the rest of my makeup and then I will be back for a review. But before I go, I just want to let you know that it is 10:30 at the moment. Can you see that? 10:33. So I finished it at 10:33, so we'll go from that time. And what I think of it so far is it feels really natural, it feels really set on my skin. I really like how it looks. It was easy to apply, although the cinnamon shade that I used to contour with was more of a warm toned product. It sort of bronzed my skin and showed me the areas that I was going to apply my cool toned contouring powders. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turned out at the moment. The cost of it was £39, so the same price as the contour kit, which looks just like this. So they look like that. But yeah, so it is now 10:30. I will finish my face of makeup with whatever left I am going to do, and then I will be back in a few hours. I'll probably leave it a good 4 hours to really see how it is sitting on my skin and if it suits my skin type. If you are unaware, my skin type is extremely oily. I do get very oily sort of all over my face, apart from this area here, which I do get more dry skin and it gets a bit more redness. So also, I just want to point out that I have got really bad hay fever, so I'm going to try and keep my makeup on for as long as possible. Hopefully I'm not going to remove too much of the makeup away from my nose when I blow it. But yeah, so I'm just going to finish the rest of my makeup and then I'll be back in a few more hours. Hey everyone, so I am now back. I've had to do a quick change because I have self-tan now. I think I've got like a self-tan. Can you do it? Yes, I've just put some self-tan on, so I've had like a little outfit change. I've been really hot and my face is showing that. I do look quite oily. I will zoom you in so you can see. Don't know if you can see that bit there. So all I applied on my face after I left you guys earlier was some brows, eye makeup, and then I just applied a little bit of blush and a lip gloss, and that was it. I didn't apply anything else, like no other powders, anything. And I kind of feel like I need to sort of set it with a more sort of heavy duty powder, like my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish first maybe, and then go in with the contour products, or even use my Laura Mercier. I have found it is creased quite considerably under my eyes. So I don't know if you can, like, under my eyes is really creased. I don't know if that's just down to like the cream products or anything else, but it hasn't really helped with creasing under my eyes. Yeah, and my skin is looking fairly oily. I'm just going to go in. Basically what I'm just going to do is, like I did in my last first impression video with the L'Oreal Infallible, I'm just going to go in and blot my skin. And we'll see how. And yeah, all I'm using to blot my skin is just some like toilet tissue. You can use like a blotting sheet, whichever. So it hasn't controlled my oil, but I wasn't really expecting it to. Okay, so let's have a look at the makeup itself. So if I zoom you back in again, we can see what it looks like now it's been blot. So my nose contour is still in position and that sort of highlighted bridge is still there. Like I said, the wrinkles underneath my eye are quite prominent, and it hasn't really helped with anything to do with that, which I wasn't really expecting it to, but it would have been like obviously nice if it didn't crease like considerably. It still looks quite nice. I can sort of see here where I put that blush on, it looks like it's rubbed off. It is sort of clinging to that dry part of my face that I get right in here, but that could be because of like the foundation that I was using. Let me just blot it here. It has, I don't know if you can see, but on my lip it is worn away and you can see my skin underneath, which kind of reminds me of like a mustache. Don't know if you can, there's basically just an area above my lip which the product has completely worn off, and I haven't touched it. I haven't even blown up my nose actually, and it has worn off my lip. I mean, my lip does get fairly like, because I've been so hot, I do sort of get that like sweaty lip. It sounds disgusting, but yeah, so it could be because of that then it has worn the product away. I'd say the contour is still there, and up around my forehead, and down here. I would kind of say in like, I just don't know if it was like set properly in the first place just by using the contour kit, if that makes sense. So I don't know if I told you, but it is 2:30, so it's been exactly 4 hours now. And so it did get oily, which I was kind of expecting. My skin is pretty oily and I was kind of expecting it to cling to this dry areas, and it has kind of worn away, but again, I'm not sure if it's just because of how I set the product, whether I need to go in with something a bit more heavy duty first and then go in with the powders that just set like the most oiliest parts on my face. So I'm actually gonna go in with a powder now, and so all I mean is that I'm just gonna go don't know what's going on with my laptop. So just down that the oily areas. I wouldn't necessarily say it's taken away from the contour. I could probably go in and just like apply a bit more like highlighting shades, which I'm not going to. I'm just going to brush whatever is left on this brush, and I'm not touching my eye creases because, you know, there's nothing I can really do about that. So yeah, I wouldn't say that by setting it with that powder it's not really taking away the actual products that we have put down. So we'll see how this sort of sits on my skin a bit longer, and whether you do need just a little bit more of a heavy duty powder product when you do have more oily skin type, if that makes sense. So because I've got an oily skin type, I'm obviously seeing how it works for an oily skin type, and so far it doesn't like stop you producing oil, obviously. Like, I don't think any product would ever be that brilliant, but we're gonna see how it is after a little while of setting it with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, and then I will come back in probably another 4 hours, if not, actually I might come back like later tonight at some point, just to sort of see how I'm getting on and how the product is looking on my face. So yeah, so I will see you again in a few more hours. So I am now back. The time is coming up to 8:30. I don't know if you can see it, hopefully. And as you can see, my skin is nowhere near as shiny as what it was before, so I do think that the heavier powder to set it first was possibly a really good idea to do that. I would say that I fake tanned, so my body is now a completely different colour to my face. So yeah, so please mind the fact that I've got a ridiculously pale face. The weather has got ridiculously hot outside. It's got windows open. We went for a walk, we took our dog for a walk, and it was just so hot outside and I just felt like I was like melting. But yeah, as you can see, there isn't much oil on my skin. I knew you were there. I knew it. I knew it.
I heard you talking. I was like, what's she talking to? Hi.
Okay, so I have no idea where I was at, but basically by setting the product the second time with the sort of heavier duty product did keep my skin a little bit more in position, if that makes sense. I do kind of feel like I've lost a lot of product here, although I did sort of lighten that area anyway. My contour and like the bronziness of my skin is still there, like my nose is still there, and the sort of highlighted areas are still there, but they are the areas that are now getting sort of shinier. I can tell they're getting shiny because this eyeliner is actually moving, and like my face just looks so pink. So weird. Yeah, so I thought I'd come back now. It's been a good 10 hours. You can probably hear leaking downstairs, I'm afraid. It's probably been a good 10 hours with the products on my face, and like the contour is still there and obviously the highlight is there, but like I said, it is getting a little bit more oily now, which I kind of expect because obviously I do have oily skin, so I would have blotted and also powdered again by now. But yeah, like I said, we went for a really long walk with the dog and it was really hot and muggy outside, so I did feel like I was sort of melting, but I kind of always feel like that when I've got makeup on my face. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I need to say. But overall, I did like the product. It hasn't got obviously like the best staying powder for oily skin, but I think it would be really good for like a dry skin, normal skin type. It will stay in place pretty much all day probably. It doesn't feel cakey whatsoever, and I applied like a good amount. Like you could see that I'd applied a good amount, and it just sort of ever so slightly just molds into your natural skin and just looks really natural and really pretty. Just really pretty. I don't know what I was going to say then. But yeah, with oily skin, I would just suggest that you need to blot it with a heavier sort of setting powder to start with, sort of like translucent setting powder maybe all over the skin, and then do your highlight and contour zones. I know they don't really suggest that because you're sort of getting rid of all the work that you've just done, but maybe get like a sort of heavier duty powder in the corresponding colours, and then just go in with the contour kit just to really brighten and really contour the cheeks later on, if that makes sense. So I definitely do like the product, and I will be using it from time to time. I'm going to be trying to find different ways that I can work with this as well. Luke.
I forgot my drink.
So I do think it is a really good sort of range of colours. I watched a couple of videos. I watched one that Carly Bible did, and she did mention that it doesn't have a cool toned shade in this particular palette, which is the light, which I do agree with, but like I said in the demo, I tend to go in with a contour powder to really carve out my cheeks, and I like to go in with a creamier product just to really bronze my skin up, so I've got like that transitional colour in position. But yeah, overall I will be using the kit from time to time, and I will be experimenting it with different ways, different foundations, different application types, different setting products, everything like that, and I will keep you posted on the results that I find. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you've got any ideas of what products you would like to see in first impression videos to come, then please let me know in the comments below. Please like my video if you haven't already, or if you enjoyed it, and subscribe. I upload videos every Monday and Friday, and I will talk to you all very soon.